something different today. I just thought I'd let you in on the story how I secured this 2023 model Classic 350 for $500. Now, it's an interesting story, so you ought to bear with me, watch it right through. Could be something a little bit on the entertaining side. So here's what happened. About, I don't know, maybe a little bit over a week ago, I decided I might cash this bike, and I'd already contacted the dealer about an emerald chrome in the new model. So the price on that one was $8,800. And I thought to myself, well, I've had this bike here 2 years. I've put closing in on 6,000 kilometres on it. I might see if I can cash it and go to the new model. And the new model, apart from a variety of colours, has also got tripper navigation and, oh yeah, a gear indicator. So that's the only real thing, like colour, gear indicator, stuff like that. So I decided I'd get into this side of doing it. So for the people who really know this bike and are pretty observant, you'll notice that I'd stripped it down. I'd taken off my touring mirrors, I'd taken off the touring seat, the spring kit with the touring seat, and what else did I remove? Oh yeah, the heel and toe shifter on the other side, but that's back on the bike now. So that was all right. I decided, how will I dispose of this vehicle, see if I can get a sale. So I thought $5,500 was not a bad price for one of these ones. Like I said, it cost me $8,800, so $5,500 to buy it. So I put it on Facebook, and I also put it on bike sales. Now it was only up there, and within, I don't know, I'd say about 6 hours, I'd got 2 people interested in it, and both of them in Sydney, and both of them offered me $5,000 for it. Now, I was thinking of letting it go for the $5,000. I thought, oh yeah, that's okay, and I'll move into another new one. Now, in the meantime, when I put it on the Facebook, it was on the wife's Facebook, and I thought I'd covered it pretty well, but she bumped into it and said, are you selling one of your bikes again? And I said, why? And she said, don't answer me with a question, I'm asking, are you selling it? And I said, well, yeah, I've got somebody interested, I'm thinking of buying another one. And she said, how much are you going to lose this time? Well, that's a fair thing, that's a common one, she says to me. So I said to her, I've told the guy in Sydney, and he said he can come in Monday and pick it up, $5,000. And she said, how much did it cost you? And I said, $8,800, plus with the extras on it, around $9,500. So she said, you're losing $4,500 on the bike, and you've only had it 2 years. And I thought, I'll tell you what, things have changed. I thought after, you know, like we've been married now 40 years. When I met her, she was 20, I was 32. And, you know, I never had those problems in the early days, but now I'm seen to be questioned now. She's hit 6-0. So anyway, I said to her, yeah, well, I think that's a fair price for it. And she said, might be a fair price for them, but she said, you're losing $4,500. She said, how much is the other one going to cost you? So I told her roughly $8,800, same price again. So she said to me, once again, she's sort of taken over my terms and said to me, you ought to wake up to yourself. And I said, why? Well, she said, you're buying a bike, what, exactly the same? I said, no, it's not exactly the same. It's got a different colour and a gear indicator and a tripper navigation. No, she said, is it the same bike? I said, yes, it's the same bike but different colour. So she said, you're selling your bike and losing $4,500, and you've got to put nearly $4,500 with it to buy the same bike in a different colour. Well, I said, yeah. So she said, in other words, you're selling this really nice looking red bike out the back for about $500. I said, how do you work that out? Well, she said, you're losing $4,500, because she was practicing to be an accountant when I first met her 40 years ago, so she's pretty good with figures. So she said, you know, yeah, well, that's $4,500 what you bought it, or cheaper what you lost on the original price, and it's going to cost you around about $4,000 to go with it, and then you said something about the extras. And she said, well, the way I work it out, you're virtually letting this bike go for $500. And I thought it over. quietly for a while. For a fair while, like over an hour. I ended up going outside. I ended up turning off my phone, and the other one I didn't answer because I had a few other inquiries on this bike here too. So I went from there and thought it over, and hard to say this, but yeah, she was probably right. Like, you know, this bike would have been going with the loss on this one, the purchase of the other one, the same bike again, and it would have been virtually, I got rid of this bike for $500. So I thought it over, and then decided after that I'd get back to those things. So I removed it from bike sales. That was a waste of $85. Oh no, not really. I had the sale, so it wasn't a total waste there. And the other one came in from Facebook. So either one of them, you know, may have scored it. The big trouble was the guy on bike sales couldn't get up till Monday. So if he would have been able to get up here really quick before all this thing, well, he would have had the bike. But at this stage, it looks like it's not going, and I'm out here now about 35 kilometres, and I tell you what, the bike is running well, and I got no real complaints about it as far as how things go. So overall, you know, it runs along at 100 kilometres an hour out here. I've got a little bit of footage there, like coming in and back on it, so we'd handle that side really well. Overall, if you said about this Classic 350, what I really don't like much at the moment, I'd put on Moto's Tractionator tyres front and rear, and once again, you know, when I was thinking of selling, there'd be too much trouble to pull them off and put them back on, even though they've only done a few hundred kilometres. So I had to just let that one go with it and stuff I couldn't get off it, like the chrome rack at the back and the sump guard. So, you know, when you look at how things are going here at the moment, what I find that I've got the Moto's Tractionator Adventure on the rear and also the Adventure on the front. Now, if you're thinking of going in this direction, I would recommend don't buy those Tractionator Adventure to put on the front. The back one's pretty good, but the front one, for some reason, once you get up around 100 kilometres an hour, develops a wobble in the bike, 95, 100 kilometres an hour, and it does shake a bit at times on that one there. And afterwards I read something after they were fitted, especially the front one, that was a bit of a problem with it. Plus I got a bit of tyre noise too. And you know, I think when I got those fitted, I got actually a new old stock in that front tyre, because apparently Motos knew about it, and then they changed the compound to try to get rid of that thing on a series after. But I bought these brand new and only bought them a few months back, but haven't travelled much on the bike since because I got other bikes there to ride. But overall, you know, that's a mistake. On the other bikes, I got ones called rails, and then the dual purpose or dual trail or something they call them on the other two bikes. But overall, that was pretty good. Geez, I tell you what, there's a really big spider web over there. If I was over that way and walking through that scrub and not watching where I'm going, friggin' must be a big spider. It's hanging around, and put that up was like a fishing line. You have to watch it around here too. This is touchy territory, but I don't know whether you can see this in the camera. Look at that for a spider web there. Look at the bloody thing moving. Where's the freaking spider? I think anything that comes fast and gets caught in it. That is. I wonder if you bump the web when any activity comes. Look at that with my index finger there. It's hard to believe. It feels just like fishing line. I'll be stuffed. Anyway, always have to be careful you're walking around here. I used to come out here in the old days and go for a walk up through the scrub here. This is just like a reserve on the side of the road. Not a bad place. They come in and dump a lot of rubbish as usual. But overall, there you are there. Somebody's 4 rims there, and all you need is the car to go with it. I bet you this would be, I don't know, here's one that run out of luck, this wallaby there. Just thought I'd have a look around here. I thought there might have been a bloody large brown or a red belly black snake laying around here somewhere, but looks like a good place for it. But you know, when you go up through the scrub there, it's fairly wild up there. So overall, that is the story from my side of the paddock today. I'm out here on the Classic 350 Reborn. Yesterday I was out on the GB 350. You know, I had a really good run out along there. Got a clip coming up on that shortly. You know, it's always good to have a few clips out to keep the ones that, should I say, the subs to come back and see what's going on. But in my case, there's always something going on. It's just a matter of what. But I bet you, I thought I might have been able to bump into a large brown or a black hanging around here, you know, because it looks like a perfect place for them to be. But not that I want to, because I definitely, if I've come across them plenty of times, I've had buckled in the legs, but I bet they're around here somewhere. It's warm enough for them, that's for sure. But anyway, I think we'll call it quits on this one. At least you know now how I, you know, got myself a Classic 350 Reborn, even though it's my old bike, for $500. So, but there's no risk, you know, looking it over, no jokes aside, what she said was right, you know. If I would have sold this and lost $4.5 grand on it and then have to put the 4,000 or so with it to go for the other one, you know, it would have been just like giving this bike away for $500 just to buy another one, which is exactly the same apart from the gear indicator, colour and the tripper nav. Now, I don't even use the navigation on the other bikes I've got, so it doesn't really matter that much.